Hi friends, and welcome to the channel. This is where I share my insights. And today I'm talking about how life rewards action. And what I mean is that you will give yourself abundant life by taking action before you feel like it, before you might feel ready for it. But that's the creative life, is finding those small steps that progress you and advance you towards the things that appear to be scaring you. So stick around and we're going to talk about how to enliven yourself through action. You pick up on this after living for a while, but life gives more life when you move. For any arthritic condition or sore muscles or something like that, a physical therapist or a doctor would recommend movement, simple movement. If you feel stiff or in pain, movement is key. And we often think, well, I'm going to convalesce. I'm going to wait. I'm going to recover before I move. But it's the movement that heals you. It's the action that brings a sense of aliveness and exhilaration. And there are people, many people who pick up on this, that they move towards what appears risky. They move towards what appears scary. And they move towards what appears impossible. To the person suffering from arthritis or stiff joints or any kind of immobile condition like that, it seems a little counterintuitive to move when you hurt, doesn't it? It seems a little counterintuitive to do something when you don't feel the motivation to do it. It feels kind of scary to launch into a business when you don't have any business. You don't have any business doing it. You don't have an education or a degree. However, there are many people who have picked up on the exhilaration of doing it. And you know this phenomenon. Nobody wants to go to the gym. Our bodies just kind of scream no. But then there's a greater part of you that says, yeah, we need to do this, or I need to do this. And then afterwards, there is this great sense of relief, aliveness, looseness, lubrication, pliability. See, fear is that paralysis. Procrastination is that rigidity. So you're kind of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I have a friend who just sits in front of the TV all day. And she's just complains. She doesn't want to live anymore. She can't move. She can't sit. So it's kind of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you don't do anything, you're in pain. A sedentary life will be painful. So you have to understand that a lot of times we must act before we get the benefits of the feeling of being productive. You have to just it's not pushing through or grunting or toiling. It's just learning how not to fear. That's what our inner purpose is to not fear. And if you have to, go slowly. I love the way Thoreau puts it, that we move confidently in the direction of our dreams. And our dreams always seem to take us right into the dark, the fearful places. But we do it anyway. We simply do it anyway. This is not drudgery, though. I'm not talking about living the same day over and over again. I'm talking about moving towards novelty, the unknown, the impossible. Understanding that the inertia that's holding you back, the fear that's holding you back, that's all part of the game. And some people have learned to do it anyway. They start YouTube channels with no idea what they're doing. They write books with really no idea how it's going to end. How they start before it's completely developed. They start lifting weights before they even look like a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? They get into that mindset that the only way is to start. The only way is to start. And that initiative is not going to feel like a fully developed motivating feeling or an inspired action. A lot of times our actions are not inspired. They're experimental. You see? My YouTube channel is a work in progress. My whole life is a work in progress. I don't really have a destination in mind. I'm just trying a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm curious now about what scares me. I'm tantalized by it, by the things that used to feel like an inhibition, you see. Most of us are inhibited. We have this feeling of, not sure. Well, everybody feels unsure. And every step you take is unsure. And you just get used to it. So, the greatest rewards in life are those actions that you take that feel experimental, that feel like you're meandering, wondering. Maybe I could give this a go. I like how the English have those phrases. They say, well, let's have a go, or I'll make a start. Let me see. When you make a start, you're kind of always in that mindset of making a start. You live in that. A true creative person is always making a start, having a go. We don't say those things in American English, which is a shame, because our language has made it seem like we have to have everything thus and so before. It's as if you have to have the perfect body before you get into the gym. It's that kind of crap. But the creative person is always looking for a small sliver. How can I do something that confidently moves me in the direction of my dreams? And a lot of us forget that videos like this are encouraged. Like, this is part of your education. Something's happening in you if you're watching this. Your spiritual education is an important way to advance in life, because it gets you closer to who you are. And that's what we're doing. We're always making a start. Every day is a start. Who am I? A new start, because today I'm a new person. I'm a new creature, which is weird. And you'll start understanding that every single day you have unfolded a new part of your truth. And so you can stretch the budget. You can stretch the imagination. You can stretch the body. And a lot of it is pretending. Pretense or pretending means stretch forth. And that makes you pliable and soft and curious. Let me see what this would be like if I took a little step towards it. Let's have a go. Let's have a start. So, the more you do that, the more fulfilling your life is. It feels, you know what it feels like? It feels like it's more playful. It feels like it's more kind of, it's not cautious, it's experimental. And those who are willing to experiment seem to have that playful quality, in that they're not afraid to have a go. It's not trying and laboring and toiling. It's not that. That's procrastination. That's trying to get it to be fully developed before you do anything. This is small action in the dark. And it makes you alive afterwards. The emotions, the thoughts, oh man, that was exhilarating. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I took that little, I'm glad I asked that girl on a date. I'm glad I tried that very difficult maneuver. I'm glad I learned something from that, even though I might have failed. Like right now, I'm taking an instrument rating in my for a pilot. You can fly the plane with the instruments, and I suck at it. I've just had 4 or 5 lessons, not very good at it, but afterwards I'm like, wow, and I'm processing it, and I'm thinking, oh, that was great. I'm glad the instructor was there, putting a decal over one of the instruments and trying to use the other instruments to get yourself aware. It's a completely different way of thinking. But most of us think, I should know how to do it before I do it. I should know how to do it before I do it. I should have it all developed before I take a step. I should have it all perfect before I release it to the public. I should have it. My first book has to be perfect. My first YouTube video has to be absolutely fully developed and perfect. No, it is a work in progress. And there's the trick. Progress. Stretching forth. Having a start. Taking a step. You will find a fulfillment you've never found before. Moving into what you're afraid of is the strangest way to enliven yourself. But movement is medicine. My name is Ryan. I hope you enjoyed these insights. Please check out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com.